Gabe's in California. I'm curious as to why you condemn the use of credit cards for everyone in every situation. It's kind of like I condemn the use of a cigarette. Cigarettes don't kill everybody that smokes them, but they are good for no one that smokes them. That's why. I'm 37 years old. I make $90,000 a year. I'm on baby step 6, and my credit score is 815. I have 4 credit cards, 4 of which I use regularly, based on which one gives me the best rewards at particular places. I pay the bill in full at least monthly for every card. Why shouldn't responsible individuals such as myself use credit cards? Because you're not. You're delusional. You are more responsible than the average cat. I'll give you that. But $90,000 a year doesn't make you rich, and those points. I've met with thousands and thousands of millionaires. I never met a single millionaire who said, Dave, I made all my money with my airline miles. Dave, I got 1% back on Discover. Let's do the math on that for a minute, okay? You run $100,000 worth of expenditures through your Discover card. You know what you get? $1,000. You want to explain to me how that's a wealth building method? That's dumber than a rock. Well, I'm spending the money anyway. Yeah, I know, but all of the studies tell us that the lack of friction, the lack of emotional friction, causes you to spend more when you use plastic than when you spend cash. So, Gabe, you can do whatever you want, but your judgmental butt little email, I can read between the lines, you Pharisee, you go do whatever you want to do, dude. But millions and millions of people have said, I've had enough of credit cards. They have not been a blessing to me. They've been a curse. You spend more when you use them. You spend 12 to 18% more when you use plastic than when you use cash on the typical purchase. If you go to a vending machine, it's 178% increase in sales for plastic users versus someone that actually puts $1 into the little dollar eater. When you go into a fast food setting, quick serve restaurants for my friends in the business, a fast food setting, you roll into Mickey D's, you spend an average of 37% more when you use plastic than cash buyers do. Because when you lay cash up on the counter, you emotionally go, ouch, I just spent money. And something leaves your possession. In return, you get something back, like a hamburger. Have you ever thought about the fact that, Rachel Cruz brings this up, when you put your credit card on the counter, they give it back to you and your hamburger. There was no visual trading going on here. If you trade something for something, you recognize that a transaction has occurred. But where you give them something, they give it back to you and they give you their stuff. No visual transaction has occurred. Now, I know that's primitive, Gabe, and you think you're above these primitive things, but you're not. These are behavior processes. And personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. Now, you're probably not going to go bankrupt because you're conservative and you're legalistic and everything else. And you've got your little financial plan figured out. So go do your plan, dude. That's fine. I'm fine if you go do whatever you want to do. But I am 100% sure, after having worked with millions and millions and millions and millions of families over the last 30 years, 5 million families have gone through Financial Peace University. We've sold 15 million books. 16 million people listen to this show. Now, what does that say? It says credit card's not working. And I think we're going to look back in a decade or so and look at the credit. You remember when you were a kid, any of you old like me? When you were a kid, everybody smoked. And then they decided it wasn't healthy, so they had smoking sections in restaurants. Remember that? And as if the smoke didn't leave the smoking section and go over to the other section. It was the dumbest thing. They had smoking sections on airplanes. I'm old enough to remember that. And before that, you could just smoke on an airplane. It was like a tube full of smoke with wings. But gradually, society went from the 1950s or 40s with Clark Gable or whoever with a cigarette hanging out of his lip in every movie, or Frank Sinatra or whoever with a cigarette hanging out of their lip in every movie, because that made you cool. It went to where the cigarette isn't cool anymore. It's just trashy. Because people die from it, and it's pretty much nobody likes it anymore. Society has kind of looked up and goes, cigarettes kill you, they're stupid. Why in the world would you smoke? Now, people do still smoke, and if you smoke, I don't care. I'm not mad at you. I'm not listening to Dave Ramsey. You didn't like smokers. I just don't see, society has turned on you because society has recognized that smoking is stupid and it kills you. And so if you're in the tobacco business, your business is almost gone during my lifetime. It was a massive multi-billion-dollar thing when I was a kid. And it's dried up to almost nothing now. The credit card is the cigarette of the financial world. There's no upside. It kills you. When you can have a debit card that does everything a credit card does, and you're not out here chasing Discover points thinking that's going to make you rich, which really makes you look mathematically stupid. So, Gabe, that's my why. I've never met anybody that built wealth because of a credit card, and I've seen people lose marriages, lives, businesses, and everything else because of credit cards, because of their misuse of them. And so I think they're stupid, especially with a debit card. They'll do every single thing and has the exact same fraud protections that your credit card has. The exact same fraud protections your credit card has. There's just no use for the dumb things unless you can get some frost on your windshield and want to scrape it off. That's about the only thing I can think of. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.